Alright, it didn't take me very long to replace these four. I put all the old stuff in those and I'm ready to throw those away. I've got one more to do. This is the combination one. This is the smoke and carbon monoxide one. And that's the one I'm going to do out into this main room. And this is the closest one to the kitchen. So that's the one I'm going to do. It's close enough to the bedrooms to where hopefully anybody who's in one of the bedrooms will hear it. I don't think there's any sense of putting a smoke alarm and carbon monoxide one in each bedroom. These things are kind of pricey. They're about $20 or so more than a regular smoke alarm, okay? So look at the store, make your decisions. There's all kinds of things you can get at the store. If you got any questions, if yours is just battery or hardwired and battery, whatever, talk to a salesman because they've got lots of choices at the store. Do I really have to show you how to install or take down another smoke alarm? By now you should be getting really good at it. And the power is off. I'm taking the battery out and I can pop that off. And like I say, not all smoke alarms are created equal. This one comes off like this. Undo the screws. And you should only need a Phillips screwdriver for this entire project. And on those screws, you don't have to take them off out of the box. You know, just kind of look up in there and see. If the head of the screw is too big for the hole, then obviously you'll have to. And this one, for some reason, doesn't seem to want to come off. So I'm going to undo the screw all the way. It's just mounted in the plastic box behind there. Okay. Pull this out. I know that the power is off. I've got these wires. You can flip them out however, because they're flexible enough to stick back in the box however you need to do. I've got two white wires, two red wires, two black wires coming out of the ceiling, so I know any wire nut will fit any set of wires. I don't have to keep track of my wire nuts. I'm going to reuse those wire nuts, remember? If they look like they're in good shape, and these do. Okay. And it depends. Sometimes you just have the end on here. This one is wrapped all around. They wrapped it with the rest of the wires. You know, they twisted the two white wires together, then they took this and wrapped it like that and then put it on the wire nut. You don't have to do that when you get ready to put yours on. Okay, so I'm just undoing the very end of the stranded wire. It's getting caught a little bit here. Okay, if you can't get it on the end, you can take it and you'll have to roll it off a little bit at a time until you get it loose, then you can take it off, okay? There you go. I've got my screw. Usually you've got a box up in the ceiling. This one is a plastic box. I'm just going to put the screw back in there like that. I'm ready for the next step. Save your money. You can do it. Okay, I'm ready for this next step. Here's my little adapter piece. Black to black, red to red, white to white. Get it snug, but don't go too much. Okay, you'll be able to tell. I really don't have to worry about shocking myself because the power is off at the breaker. Pull on your wire after you get it on there to make sure it's tight and secure. Sometimes if the wire nut goes on there a certain way, you pull on that and think, oh yeah, everything's fine. You pull on it, son of a gun, it comes right out. It doesn't happen very often, just be aware of it. Okay, now I'm going to resituate this up in here, keeping my grubby fingers off of the ceiling, if they are grubby. Mine are pretty clean, but I still try to be aware of it. Okay. Trying to situate my flexible wires out a little bit. I want to push my wire nuts up far enough so that the rest of these wires have enough room to kind of flex up in there. Don't get it packed so low that you're having a hard time getting this up, and maybe your mounting bracket here does not, or your smoke alarm, this piece here, as you push it up, this might hit the back of that and you might not be able to get it screwed up there properly. Okay, I've got it twizzled in the right direction, seeing that both screws are where they're supposed to be. Let's get it snug. One more little turn each or so. Okay, that looks good. That's up there in the middle. Plenty of flex room up in there. Okay, ready for the last bit. Ready to get these prongs on here. Make sure you get the prongs all pushed in there in the right place, that you don't miss any of the prongs and it snaps into place. Make sure it gets snapped all the way, because you might be able to snap one side and maybe the other side doesn't snap all the way and you think, oh, that's fine, and then all of a sudden your smoke alarm's not working properly. Okay. And I'm looking on here. Here's my yellow tag. Do I want people to see that yellow tag on this side? I can flip it around the other direction, maybe. And you want to get it pressed exactly where it needs to be. Push up all the way. You can feel it all the way on the back, if so. Now twist it, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Remember, most everything does that. So I'm going to turn it to the right, and it should chirp as I click it. If it doesn't chirp, the chances are maybe I don't have it on the mounting bracket properly. Look at that. There you go.
Push test button.
Okay, this one was different because this had the smoke alarm and carbon monoxide, and this one actually talks to you too. Okay, go a little bit tighter and it sets on there. If you only do it one click, you could get this to loosen later. It already told me to push the test button. I'm not going to do that yet because the power is still off. If I press this test button right now, it's going to set it, but then when I turn the power back on, I'm not sure if you have to reset it again. Okay? So be aware of that. All right, now that I have that, I'm going to go out and turn the power back on. I've got all my smoke alarms installed. I had 5 of them. 1 of these carbon monoxide and smoke. The rest of them were smoke only. Okay, here's the smoke only. One's right here. Oh, nope, that's the combination one. See, smoke alarm. And it was hardwired, and it was also 10-year life battery backup. Okay, that's the kind you want for your bedrooms. And out here, anything close to the kitchen, if you have gas appliances, this is only if you have gas appliances, and there is some in this house, then you have a chance of something ever leaking, and you have that carbon monoxide filtering through your house. You could die because of that, because you're not going to smell it. It's non-smelling, and in the middle of the night, you could just pass off if you had an issue, or if your gas didn't get turned off all the way, if you have a gas dryer, anything like that. Okay, if you don't, then chances are you're not going to need a combination one that detects smoke and carbon monoxide. Okay, remember that. So I've got 4 smoke alarms installed in the bedrooms. Actually, there's 3 bedrooms here. I got them all installed there, and there was also another regular smoke alarm in the hallway right there. So make sure you look in all your ceiling areas and make sure you get them all, because not all houses are created equal with the smoke alarms. And then this one, I put a carbon monoxide one on here. I'm going to test them now, but before I do that, I'm going to turn the breaker back on. Here's another tip for you. Yes, this little video clip is all about tips, mind you, on your smoke alarms. Now, I told you that before I started working on these, I shut the electrical power off on the actual breaker outside. Okay, so once I get all these reinstalled, before I reset them, I'm going to turn the breaker on. My auntie had a good idea. She said, hey, why don't you make sure you mark the electrical breaker in the electrical panel for the ones that say smoke alarm. So I might put SA on it, or just an S or something, tell my auntie what I did. That way, if you ever have an issue with wanting to shut this circuit off again, you won't have to troubleshoot it. You can get right to the electrical breaker and do it the first time. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.